Alright guys, let's start SQL. What is SQL? You see in Facebook and Instagram that you can use your data anytime, anywhere. And you know what is SQL? SQL is a language used to communicate with database. What is database? Database is like a notebook, you know? You can store your data inside your database. You can read data inside your database, like these things. If you wanna learn SQL language, you need 4 server, like live server or local host server, like these things. And I'm gonna teach SQL using XAMPP because XAMPP gave us local server, you know? First of all, you have to download XAMPP. You can go to this website, and after that, you can see different type of version the XAMPP. You can get the latest version of XAMPP. You can come here and click on download. Look, download is begin here. Now our download finished and I'm gonna install XAMPP. You can click on XAMPP folder. Welcome to XAMPP. Okay, you can go next, 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 like these things. Okay, and after this your XAMPP will be installed. When your XAMPP installed, you will see this user interface. And you have to start 2 things. One is Apache, one is MySQL. Let's start it. You can wait a second for it. Yes, it start, and let's start MySQL. But before this, before reading SQL, you need to make a database for storing data. Because if you don't make a database or table, what is the benefit of working with SQL? And you don't know when you work with SQL, it's very hard. You can make a database in simple. I just show you how you can make database and table. After that, we will go and read some SQL, some important SQL things that you needed. And after that, we will discuss about creating table and database carefully. Okay? But for the first, just learn how you can make a database. Go to shell. When you click the shell, you will see this. After that, you write MySQL minus u, minus h localhost minus u root and minus p. Enter your password. We don't have password. Enter, and now you're inside your database. After this, you have to write database before creating table. Okay, how you can make database? You can write create database, and after that you can choose a name for your database. For example, I want to choose my name first. Okay, this is my database name. Enter, and it says my database is created. Let's see. When you want to see your database, okay, you can go to MySQL admin. Click on it. Wait a second. Now I am inside of my database. Look, the database I created is here first. When I click on it, I don't have anything. I don't have table. Now let's create table. Okay, you can go to PowerShell, and in here at the first you have to specify your database name. I say use first. It says okay. Now I'm inside of my database with name of first. After this, I want to make a table. Create table, and let's choose a name for this table. For example, info. Okay. After this, parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you have to specify the column. The first column is ID. It should be integer, auto increment, and I want to add other thing also. For example, name. Okay, it should be text. Now let's close it, and it says it's hero. Let's change this text into virtual. Auto increment. It should be primary key, and we will learn about primary key at the future lesson. Now let's see. Our table is created. If you want to see the table, you can write describe and your table name info. Look, my table has two columns. One is ID, one is name. Let's see the database. Let's go to our database first, and in here I have a table with the name of info. If I click on it, my table has two columns, ID and name. Now let's insert something inside this table. When you want to insert data into your table, you can write it like this: insert into your table name. What was the table name? Info. After this, my table has name, okay, and after that, values, and in here I can write my values inside the single quotes or double quotes because it's a string. What is the name? Simple code. Let's see. In the first info, look, one thing is stored inside my table. The ID is 1, the name is simple code. Now let's know how we can use SQL inside of our database, because SQL is language used for database and database is like a notebook. First thing you have to know is select. With select, you can select data inside your table. For example, select, if I put this keyword, it select all the things inside of my table. After that, I should specify from my table name, info. Let's see. It says my table has ID and name column. The ID is 1, the name is simple code. And also, if you wanna select the exact thing from your database, you can write it like this: select. For example, only I have see the name, okay, or only I have see the ID from my table, what we called info. Now let's see. I have ID with 1, just like this. If I see just the name column, I can see it like this: select name, your column name, after that from your table name, info. Look, it says only name, simple code. Let's store another data into our table. Insert into my table name, info, parentheses. Inside the parentheses, my column name should be right, name. After that, values, and parentheses. Inside the parentheses, inside the quotes, you can write your string thing. For example, the second thing is, for example, John. Okay, now let's store it. It's stored, and now I wanna see the all thing inside of my table. You can see it like this: select star from my table name, info. Look, it says your table has two things. The first one is simple, the second thing is John. I just want to see the name. How can I see it? I can see it in so simple. Select name. Only it shows the name to me from my database name, info. It only shows the name column inside of my table, simple code and John. How you can add a condition into your SQL? Okay, I only see simple code, I don't see John. How you can select it? You can select it like this: select. If you write it in capital letter or small letter, doesn't matter, but I recommend that you can write with capital letter. Okay, select name from info. If you want to add condition, you have to write where what, the column name equal to, for example, I only want to see simple code. Okay, what does it mean? I said that select name column from info table. Where name, what does it mean? The column name should be simple code. And now let's enter. It only shows simple code. Let's add something else. For example, where ID should be. Okay, where ID should be 2. Let's see. It shows John because the John ID is 2. But where you can add condition. You have to write where after that column name, and you can add condition. For example, if you want to see it by the ID or by the string, you can select it like this. Now let's know how we can add more than one condition. How we can add more than one condition? You can add condition by and or like this. Okay, I just want to see the name. I just want to see the name column from my info table where where ID should be 1 and the name should be simple code, or the name should be John. Okay, it is empty because we don't have ID with 1 and we don't have name with John, because when it's correct, if this two condition is correct, it will show us. If this two condition isn't correct, it doesn't show us. Now let's write the ID should be 1 and the name should be simple code. It shows that you have a name column with simple code that has ID with 1 and that has a string or name column with simple code. And also you can add another condition with or. What does it mean if I add or? It means that if this condition is correct, show me, or if this condition is correct, show me. With and, okay, the both of them should be correct, and after that it will show us. With or, one of them is to be correct, it will show us. I want to change this simple code into John, or maybe something else, for example cat. Okay, it shows that I have column name with ID 1 simple code, but I don't have name with cat. It doesn't matter because this is correct and it will show to me. If this condition isn't correct, doesn't matter because or is like a plus, okay? And is like a multiplication. 0 multiplication 1 equal to 0. 1 plus 0 equal to 1. Like these things, okay? Now let's know not condition, okay? What does it mean? If I write not condition, it means that you should show me a column with name where ID is 1 and name shouldn't be cat. Let's see, it isn't correct. And now I want to add another data into my database. Insert into my table name info parentheses. Inside the parentheses you can add your column name, for example name, values, because I want to add values, parentheses. Inside the parentheses I want to write some string because name it a string, cat. Now let's see, it's okay. Let's see, select all the things from info table. It shows that simple code John, cat, and their IDs. Now I want to change this cat into something else. For example, I want to change this cat into SpongeBob. How you can change it? You can change it by update your table name info, set your name, your column name, for example name, equal to SpongeBob. SpongeBob, okay? And I should specify the ID of this because when I enter, it says, okay, I will change the name column, but which data should I change? Now I should specify this with condition where, for example, name equal to cat, okay? Now let's enter, it says, okay. Now let's see, select all the things from my info table. Look, The cat changed into a SpongeBob. Now I want to delete John. How can I delete it? You can delete it like this. Delete your table name info, delete your table name, and you can write condition where ID equal to 2. Okay? Okay. Delete from. I should write from. Delete the data inside of my information table or info table that has an ID with 2. Now let's see. It's deleted. Let's see what we have inside our table. Select all the things from info. I don't have John anymore. Now I want to delete this database. What was the name of my database? I don't know. Let's see what was my database name. First, I want to delete my database. Okay, how you can delete it? You can delete it like this. Drop. After that, you can write database. Database, your database name. My database name was first. Enter. Now I don't have database. Let's see. Look, if I refresh this, I don't have first database anymore. Now let's create another database. Okay, create database. Let's choose a name for this. For example, second. Okay. Now database created. Now let's use this database. Use second. Now I'm inside of my database and now I wanna make a table inside of this database. How can I make a table? You can make it. Create table. Your table name, for example, customer. And this table has a column. The first column should be ID. This ID should be auto increment. It should be integer because it only stores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. And it should be primary key. Okay? And I want to make another column to it. For example, my database has name. The name should be virtual. The length of varchar to 20. And every customer has salary. Okay? This salary should be integer like this. Now let's close this and see it. It shows hero. You know what is the problem is? Because I specify integer after auto increment because it should comes before everything. Let's make this. Let's bring this integer from into here and now let's see it's work. Now I want to see my table. Describe. What was my table name? Customer. It shows inside the customer I have 3 columns: ID, name, salary. These things. Let's add some people inside of this database. I can store data into my table like this way. Insert into my table name customer. After this I should specify the column names. It should the name and salary. Okay, after that values parentheses. Inside the parentheses now the first column is name, for example John. The second is salary. For example, John has 500 salary. Okay, now it's okay. And now I wanna add another person. For example, this time the name is Max and Max has $1,000 salary. Okay, now let's see the data into our table. Select all the things. It should shows all the things from our table. What was the table name? Customer. Now let's see, it shows that inside of our table we have 2 persons, John and Max. John has 500 salary and Max has $1,000 salary. If you want to add condition, I told you before, you can add it by where. Okay, now I want to add another column into my table. This column should hold the gender of these people. How you can make it? You can make it by alter table. Okay, after that your table name customer, because I want to add another column into my customer table, and I want to write add and your new column name gender. It should get male or female. Okay, and you can write this into text or varchar, doesn't matter. Varchar, it only gets 10. Now let's see our database. Describe my database. Second, describe second. Okay, sorry, that is describe my table name. What was my table name? Customer. It shows that this table has ID, name, salary, and gender columns. Now I want to add in gender columns. Insert into customer parentheses. Inside the parentheses, I have column name with gender values. This value should be male. Okay, male, where ID equal to 1 and 2. Now let's see. It is wrong. Let's write it again and right here ID equal to 2. It is wrong. In insert you cannot use condition. Remember this. Instead of this we can write update. What was our table? Customer set gender equal to male, where ID equal to 1. Now it's okay. Let's see, select all the things from customer. It shows John is male and Max is null. The gender of Max is null because we don't specify that. Let's write this into 2. Now let's see. Select all the things from customer. It shows that John gender is male, Max gender is male. What is null and what is not null? Remember this. When I add column with gender, I put this null because I don't write anything and it is by default is null. If I choose that not null, it gets value and it doesn't store null value. It doesn't looks like this. It should get some values that you gave it to